muscular group of men. You go find them, you throw your arms around them, you give them a big kiss on the mouth.
This is PTR Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. That's right, this is your pre-turkey talk. Getting ready for Thanksgiving next week. This will be the last episode of PTR Radio before we kick into the turkey and stuffing and all the other good stuff that goes along with it. So if you have any of your turkey traditions, make sure that you get in touch with the show at PTR Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other fun stuff. Let us know what you're going to be doing and what you're looking forward to during this, initial holiday season. If you plan on ruining Thanksgiving in some way, shape, or form, you can always let us know that too. We're always looking for ways that, are creative or interesting that you might be ruining your family's Thanksgiving. I know my family's well on their way to doing it. So why shouldn't you enjoy it and fun? So, that's what kids are good for. But yeah, otherwise, I'm just looking forward to starting drinking early in the morning that day. So,
yeah,
that's what it becomes.
Unfortunately, we have to drive, or I have to drive. So I won't be drinking early in the morning.
You should get a designated driver. It's better that way.
Well, here's the thing. If it was easy to get an Uber on Thanksgiving that didn't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah. Surge pricing.
Then my friggin' parents could have met us somewhere to go out to eat.
Yeah.
But we won't go into that.
Just in case there's anything wrong with the stream today, we are using a new version of the software that we use to stream the show. And so it comes to us with a few new options. So, back in the olden days, we used to use WebEx to bring all of us together. Well, now we just use the software itself, but we also could now use Zoom if we wanted to. So isn't that fun? Now we've got more options. But
okay,
the other option that's really kind of fun is they added a new feature, and the new feature is is that if I wanted to do something like this, I could do this. I can now annotate right on the screen and do these fun things. So, now if we say, okay, well, this person, he's going to run this way and he's going to get the ball here. And then this person, they're going to go across the line and they're going to put the ball there. And, and then this guy, he's going to go up.
Shaggy's already
here
to pull out his John Madden impression.
Yes. So, now we can do all this fun stuff, and then we can also say,
we call this the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yes. So, but, so now we have we have a telestrator now. So isn't that kind of fun? I don't know when we'll actually use it, but it's kind of fun.
Colin and I are just like, okay.
Yeah, next time you play one of those games you pull out, then you can keep score on the screen.
And actually, I can. One of the things I'm going to be working on is opening it up so you two can also annotate. So
probably don't want to do that.
But
especially
I wasn't
when one of us is drinking.
But yeah, it's I wasn't even expecting it. I don't think it was anywhere in the release notes. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, when you download the preview release, here's this new toy. I'm like, wow, cool, kind of cool new toy. Was not expecting.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's something fun if we ever have a need for it. Because like the other thing they have is like instant replay. Don't have a need for that on this show. You know, don't have a need for instant replay on anything. You know, but but anyway,
How big is the buffer? Is it big enough to overcome any streaming issues? Like, I don't know, say a boxing match.
I don't think it is. I think it's all. Well, the buffer is as big as your computer can handle. But yeah, no, I don't think Netflix was utilizing it for the fought with problems fight that they had.
No, let's just call it an entertainment showcase, because I refuse to say it was a boxing match.
Well, no, because boxing matches normally don't have contractual obligations to lose in them. You know?
So the day that somebody at work put up a poll on Teams of who was going to win, and I said it was going to be a double simultaneous knockout when both of their heads just grew so large that both of them fell over like upside down weeble wobbles.
Well, it's just silly. If Tyson had knocked out Jake Paul in the first round, he wasn't getting paid anything, according to the contract.
Yeah, I truly want to see this contract.
You know?
Yeah.
And if he had gone through 8 rounds and it came down to a decision, that was the highest payday that he could go for. So, there's a benefit to, just not doing anything, essentially. And now Jake Paul is trying to goad Conor McGregor into a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, an actual, like, MMA fight.
Yeah, and Conor McGregor has a problem of not giving a crap, just to life in general. So, I don't know that Conor McGregor would care about any money. If Conor McGregor did take the fight on, he might just knock him out in the first round just to be a jerk.
Well, I mean, and also, he has the benefit of being 20 years younger than Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm angry that I fell for the whole charade, because I actually thought Tyson stood a chance. And after that first round, there was one point where Mike threw a punch, and like in slow-mo, it looked like my regular speed punch. And after that, he pretty much just backed down and started chewing on his gloves. And that's when I knew.
Yeah.
Like, why they even took bets on this, like why Vegas was taking bets on this is disgusting. Because you might as well bet on WrestleMania at that point, because it's all scripted.
Yeah.
The undercard fights were better. But hey, Mike got his $20 million.
Yep.
And if that's the shingle you want to hang, that you lost to Jake Paul and decided to finally retire again, you know what? You should have ended your career on a high note of being the highlight of the first 2 Hangover movies.
Yeah, I was looking. Evander Holyfield now wants to fight Tyson again. Like, why do these old guys want to come out and?
Hey, if they want to have an old man boxing league, that's okay.
they did Evander Holyfield dirty because his earpiece was not working, so he could not hear the questions that were being asked to him in the arena. They did him. They really did him dirty. He looked like a fool as a result.
I mean,
And Rosie Perez, of all people, to call this fight. You know, when I think boxing and big headline events, the first name that comes to mind is Rosie Perez. Fitting, because this essentially was a boxing version of White Men Can't Jump. We were all conned. So she was reprising a role. Now I get it. See? Now I get it.
See, the only ref that I know is is it Miles Lane or Mills Lane? Yeah, that's the only one that I know.
Yeah. And mostly because he was in claymation.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm thinking back to all of the boxing matches that I've seen, and I'm like, yeah, but they all had Stallone in them. So that's everything I've seen.
Well, I mean, there is in the USA Masters boxing, division, there is a 55 and older bracket. So maybe Tyson and Holyfield can get into that.
Well, pretty soon they're going to be in the people with walkers boxing league.
Hey, there's a 75-year-old Michigan woman who's taken up boxing.
Well, she could be Jake Paul's next opponent.
Could be.
The memes are the best part about this. Like, okay, so Jake Paul's next opponent, Jimmy Carter, Blue from Old School,
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, that'd be a good one. Clint Eastwood would stand there talking to the stool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Clint Eastwood would be shadow boxing.
talking to a trainer that ain't even there. Man, I don't know. I am disgusted. Like the bar that we go to after hockey, they posted earlier in the day. Band starts at 8. We're not paying for a fake fight. Go watch it somewhere else. Okay. Everyone was on their phones anyway. So.
Yeah, it's...
The fact that the fight didn't actually start until like damn near midnight. Or just before midnight. Yeah.
I love I'm going to tell my kids this was Jake Paul and, so-and-so fighting. Those... for example.
Oh yeah.
Oh crap! I got the wrong screens. For example, this one here.
Facing LeBron next. Okay.
Yep.
I heard Butterbean called him out. I would love to see Jake Paul fight Butterbean. But then, okay, so Mike Tyson did put something out. Let's see if I can find it on X real quick. That apparently that medical emergency that he had back in June, that was a lot that they were playing off as no big deal. Like this fight got postponed, right?
Uh-huh.
He posted on X, I almost died in June, had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood and 25 pounds in the hospital, and had to fight to get healthy to fight. So I won. I mean, I don't know. Well, What was the other one? They got him the scene from Deadpool and Wolverine where he's sitting there with the skeleton, and he said Jake Paul's next opponent, Muhammad Ali.
Oh, this was another good one. I think I got the wrong link for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, his probably better quality there.
Yeah. Oh, and the other one, which was the original Punch Out. You remember?
Yeah.
Remember when they said we've already seen this before?
Yeah, Mike Tyson versus Glass Joe.
Yeah.
And well, that didn't work out. Now did it?
No.
So, it's just
disappointing is what it is. That's what our society has come to. You know what else is disappointing?
the people bastardize your coleslaw. So Mike
listen.
put out a picture of something which didn't he said it's coleslaw. I don't think it's coleslaw.
Oh no. I did not put the picture out. You put the picture out.
Well, I put the picture out. I don't even know what that is, but it sure ain't coleslaw.
Pit Boss Grills, who I follow on Facebook, put a post out there asking who puts nuts in their coleslaw and what kind. Immediately I said, there's a new kind of evil in this world that I need to fight. Who are these people putting nuts in coleslaw? Are these the same people that put pineapple on pizza? Because that's just... We need to repurpose Australia and all of these people, turn it back into a penal colony. Everybody go there. Can't be having this.
And so then...
I've never heard of such a thing.
And
no, that's no.
And so I did a search for nuts in coleslaw, and this is the image that resulted. Crunchy nut coleslaw. That is not coleslaw. No, that is purple slop.
This pretty colored salad. Yes, salad. If you put nuts in it, it is no longer slaw. It is a salad.
So
no, and that to me that looks like
no.
Borscht. I don't know. No.
Yeah.
There's no nuts in coleslaw. I started asking people, is this really a thing?
Yeah.
Somebody posted up something else asking a couple of questions. I said, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that there are people out there that put nuts in coleslaw.
Yeah,
and
I
was messed up for days trying to figure this out.
Yeah, I don't entirely get it.
But then there was part of me that said, well, I do have coleslaw that came in a little cup with my to-go burger from the bar, and I got sliced almonds over there. I'm afraid I'd like it, and then have to start carrying around almonds to put in my coleslaw all everywhere. So no.
It depends on the quality of the coleslaw, I guess. I mean, a good quality coleslaw should have still be snappy, right? You should be able to bite into it, and you don't need something else that's hard in there because you already have the cabbage or whatever it is. And so you don't want more hard stuff because then you have trouble moderating your bite correctly. What if you actually got some shell in there? That's not no. But I guess if it's like coleslaw from like KFC, where it's pretty much all mush to start with, then I guess I can see that. Not from a taste perspective, I still think it's a horrible idea. I'm just saying, I guess I can see that
absolutely
not being idea. Terrible. I was just thinking, I guess I could see like sunflower seeds. That's like the limit of what I could even see as being acceptable. I don't think not good, just not
seed, not
evil.
No, absolutely no. Sunflower seeds are small enough too. If they're chopped up, you might just think that's a spice or something. like possibly acceptable, but I don't want to open the door for somebody to try and experiment and put nuts in my coleslaw.
I don't want walnuts in my coleslaw.
No walnuts, no cashews, no pecans,
Or
no
pecans.
these nuts, none of them.
No pecans, no pecans, and no pecans.
No macadamias, no almonds,
No Brazil nuts.
or nutty Brazilians. No.
Mm-mm.
Don't want
And-
it in my coleslaw.
And just for me, yeah, you can keep your coleslaw. I don't want any of that.
You eat pickles?
I guess
I
I
don't-
could see
I
like
don't
nut
need your
milk
rotten
in a vegan
lettuce.
coleslaw, but I don't want that either.
Pickles are fine by themselves. Don't need no damn rotten lettuce.
All right. Well, I'll trade you a pickle for your coleslaw.
That's fine.
All right. A lot of things went wrong in the world since our last show. But one thing did go right.
Okay, I'm going to ask you what one went right, because I am not going to get into anything that could be construed.
Somebody who was absolutely not qualified for the job that they got out of their job. Ray gun.
Ah, okay, good. We're talking about breakdancing. Okay.
Rachel Raygun Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Well, it's just for a second I was like, "Where's he going with this? Where's he going with this?" He could have gone even further. You could have gone a female who's not qualified for her job,
I could have.
who some see as
I
controversial.
absolutely could have. Female who was gifted a position
Yes,
on a national stage, international even.
whose performance
Tired.
by
She's
some
done with competitive breaking.
Yes.
Some would argue she never actually started
Yes,
competitive breaking. She decided.
some would say she didn't deserve to
on a
be there in
radio
the first
station.
place.
No, she absolutely did not. Because of that, here's the thing: she's retiring not because she wasn't good at it. She wasn't, but if you had call it any other kind of dance, interpretive dance, I'd be fine with it. She's probably an excellent interpretive dancer. She is not a break dancer. There is a difference. So she's retiring because of all the hate she got. Yes, that is the ray gun.
It looks like the "What Does the Fox Say" dance. What do the fox
It truly does.
or straight out of Thriller. Thriller night. That one. Looks like the Thriller.
There was an NFL player whose his touchdown dance was Ray Gun's routine from the Super Bowl or from the Olympics. Like he did all of her signature moves.
Well, he didn't get in trouble for excessive celebration. So
I was actually very disappointed that I did not see a single ray gun on Halloween. I thought for sure there were going to be.
yeah.
It's too generic. It's just Australian Olympian. She doesn't have anything else unique to her other than she's dressed as an Australian Olympian.
But see, if you were at a party and the music came on and you start doing her moves, then, I mean, to me, that's that's
I thought you meant
Gotta-
like kids walking down the street.
Oh, well, trick-or-treater? No. If a trick-or-treater came up and if a trick-or-treater came up, they would have gotten a sack of potatoes if they started dancing. Like if they were dressed as Ray Gun and they started dancing like Ray Gun. I would have went inside. I would have emptied my pantry. I would have given them the whole bag of potatoes. Whatever candy I had left. Here you go. I'm done. Ain't gonna be no better than this. Yeah, she was being interviewed on an Australian radio station, and they started asking her about the experience, and she talked about how all the hatred she got, and she said, "I think I'm done with competitive dancing," and I'm like, "Yes, you are." Like, now, see, any one of those stills though could possibly be interpreted that she knows what she's doing. Right? That almost looks like, but the reality is she just kind of kicked her legs and rolled, not did any kind of fancy, like real breakdancing move.
Yeah, I mean, it's like statistics. I can make the pictures look however I want them to look, you know? So yeah, I can make her look like she knew what she was actually doing. You know, for example, if I take, this image here, come on, damn it. Oh, not B. There we go. Well, this is a terrible, crappy image, but you know, if I take this one, you know, look, she looks like she knows what she's doing.
She's doing a head spin.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I mean, you take those individually and yeah, looks like she knows what she's doing.
Possibly.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, I mean, you can really make her, you know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, the sum of its parts is much worse. So
Well, yes. She is to breakdancing like William Hung was to singing. It truly is a case of, if you believe, you can get the sport kicked out of the Olympics.
Well, remember that one, was it a skier or a snowboarder who got in because they just had to be in enough competitions to earn the spot for their country, and then they went down the half pipe, you know, but they didn't do a single flip or move or anything, but you know, they just went back and forth. Remember that one?
I think so. I'm trying to. The American skier. Oh wait.
It was
Slaney.
Yeah.
Her?
Yeah,
Okay.
she finished 24th in the women's half pipe qualifications. All she wanted to do was actually compete. Yep. So, yeah. Pyeongchang is when she competed. So, yeah, she just went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But, you know, she competed.
Wasn't that kind of the story of Eddie the Eagle?
No, because he actually like legit competed. They didn't have a long ski jump team or competitor for the UK for England, and that was, you know, and he wasn't good at any other event, and so he decided that was going to be the event he was going to compete in. And he had already been Elton John, and his coach had already been Wolverine. So he decided that he was going to, you know, become an Olympian.
Okay.
I haven't watched the movie yet, but I'm guessing that somewhere in there has to be a musical number, just given the cast.
Oh, no.
There's got to be, right?
A musical about a Brit, really? You're going to do that to me?
Well, there's got to be, right? I mean, Elton John and the Music Man. Hey, at least this year for Christmas, we don't have to watch Spirited or whatever it is.
That's right, we don't.
So that'll be coming up in a little bit in the show. We're going to kick off discussions about our Christmas movie, you know, reviews. and what we'll be talking about.
I feel like we have a good transition because we essentially watched a Hallmark movie.
We did, yeah. Which is in about 15 minutes, we'll talk about that. And speaking of which, you know, there's a movie coming out which is a Santa movie, but not a Santa movie, with Jack Black, and it's on our white sheet.
Stumbled across this.
And what do we think about? Because the comments by parents on the trailer for this are not very flattering. They're like, I can't believe you're making a movie about Satan during Christmas.
Fantastic. So the movie is called Dear Santa. It's coming out on Paramount Plus. So it's possible we might be able to review this. We're not sure yet.
Yeah.
It's up for discussion. But what happens is the kid goes to write a letter to Santa, but misspells it and sends the letter to Satan.
Played by Jack Black. Yeah.
Which, as odd as it does sound, I kind of dig it. Like,
yeah. The only way, you know, they could have done like a Little Nicky tie-in, maybe. That would have been the only other way.
Well, maybe.
Of course, there is supposed to be a Little Nicky 2 at some point. So
No, there better not be. That would be horrible. Comes with a free side of walnut coleslaw. No, don't.
So, but yeah,
the other one that we were talking about too is Red One.
Yeah, which
is out in theaters right now.
Yeah, it just came out.
Supposedly did not do well.
No,
a lot worse than expected.
The reception for it from critics was terrible, and you know, so it will be interesting to see. Right now, it's got 4.1 out of 5 stars, according, and it's got a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. I mean, real powerhouse of cast, but according to IGN, Dwayne Johnson drops a lump of coal in Red One, and you know, it's like, not sure this is what we need.
I'm patiently waiting for the day that Dwayne Johnson's star fizzles.
I don't know.
I hope this is the start of it. I mean, his ego needs this kick in the nuts. But at the same time, I feel bad because J.K. Simmons, he's got that look about him that I've kind of wanted him to play Santa for a long time now.
Well, and now he's doing you know, insurance commercials where he's kind of poking fun at it. He of the Santa that he's playing Santa, because he goes, I saw him in a commercial and he goes, man, that guy's good looking. It's Santa Claus, you know. So there's another. Go ahead.
I was going to say my favorite reviewer said it's too violent and profane for young kids and too juvenile for adults. So the question is, who was it made for then?
Oh, they probably would have said the same thing about all the Die Hard Christmas movies. So, you know.
You mean every Die Hard movie?
Yeah. So.
Only one took place at Christmas.
No. Not true.
Try me. What other one did?
Was it the third one? Because they brought Christmas presents to the airport.
Oh, that would have been the second one?
Yeah, was it the second one?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think Die Hard 2 was... Yeah, you're right. I think some of the later ones weren't anymore, but... Yes, I think the first 2 were.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair. I forgot about the second one in more ways than one.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve. Second one was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because remember he said, "Have a heart. It's Christmas."
I remember it now.
Uh,
I
was
kind of blocked it from memory.
Yes, Die Hard 3 was definitely not Christmas because he was in the Bronx. You know,
That was
with Samuel L.
that
Jackson.
was Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then came Live Free or Die Hard.
yes.
And then It's a Good Day to Die Hard.
And then there was
Right?
Die Harder. I know there's like 6 in total. It was Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, A Good Day to Die Hard, and then what is there there's a McClane Year 1?
No. What is this? Bullshit. What is this?
Die Hard 6, McClane Year
That's
1.
comic series. It's a comic series, not a movie.
Well, several
And
people
it's-
have done some splicing and some AI movie to make
Well-
at least a trailer.
There's a lot of AI movies out there that you can find that aren't safe for children.
I know.
Yeah, by that thing I can say there's 20,000 different Die Hard movies. Only a very small fraction of them are not on Christmas. And make my statement originally, correct instead of hyperbole.
Mama Blair says we've already watched Spirited, plan to watch it again this season, and we say to you, good afternoon. Okay. Sure.
It's from Spirited. Yeah. If I remember right, it was the insult in Spirited.
It's hilarious. It's a great song.
Oh, okay.
Every time anybody on TV show says good afternoon, we're all like, good afternoon!
All right. Let's see here. One more. Oh, we should talk about Wicked. Because this was, I don't know who in quality control for the Wicked toys.
And this one made me yell at so we put our stuff on Slack. And for some reason, my Slack app decided to say like we didn't have much on the whiteboard. I think I looked at it. We had the one thing from Shaggy, which is the previous one, and that was pretty much it. And then I said, this other thing came. I said, oh, I'll put that one on too. And then the next day, I'd look at Slack, and it's like, there's all this other stuff. And crap, Mike had already put that one on there. Very annoying.
I was trying to think of the nice way. I wasn't going to say anything. Like I figured something happened, but I'm like,
I looked. I specifically looked to make sure it wasn't there. And not only was it there, it was directly before the one Shaggy put. I was like, what? Anyway.
So if you've been living under a rock, so there's a movie called Wicked, which talks about, Wizard of Oz type stuff, the witches before Wizard of Oz. Well, they came out with a set of dolls, and there's a typo on the back of the box. It says, for more information, go to wicked.com. All right. Now, for those of you that might be familiar with more interesting parts of the web, wicked.com is a pornography publishing site.
well, okay, you can show what happens when we go to wicked.com because the first thing that comes up is it asks if you are 18 or older.
Exactly. So it
Right?
it actually just says, "Hey, are you old enough to be here?" And if you are, then there's a lot of, I mean, even the first page of that is somewhat friendly, but we won't show it. But there's a lot of things there that are not Wizard of Oz related. All right.
Oh yeah.
But if you
Now-
are interested, 25 plus years of award-winning movies is what they do have. So they do have movies, just not that one.
I have to say that they missed a huge marketing opportunity by not having a Wizard of Oz themed picture as the first thing you see after saying you're over 18.
You know,
The correct website is supposed to be wickedmovie.com
yeah.
to find out about the movie starring Ariana Grande.
But I'm not sure if...
I don't think this was a mistake.
Well, probably as much as the hidden penises in the Disney, cover art boxes were. Somebody
if it
was
wasn't a
actually
mistake, then they've lost so much money.
Well, I truly believe that this was a planned thing to generate more buzz about the movie because, seeing a commercial every break on every channel. This is what happened. The election happened. The political ads stopped. And in the place of all the political ads became ads for Wicked or Wicked tie-in products. That's all you're seeing. If this movie ain't the best thing to hit the cinema this year, then this is all for naught, man. I'm telling you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this was a Broadway play first, right?
Yes.
It was a book first. Then it was Broadway musical.
Okay. The Broadway musical, which made Adele Dazeem
Yes.
a household name.
Mm-hmm.
In the Travolta household.
Yes.
Well, yeah, mine too. That's more fun to say than I. What's her name? Idina Menzel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adele Dazeem. I like that better.
Yes, Adele Dazeem. I agree. This recall is fun to poke fun at, right? This recall is one that we can, we can go, okay, printing mistake. Some people will definitely be caught up by this. Some people will not understand. Hey, don't go there. There's another recall.
Some people are going to hold on to those dolls with the misprint, with the death grip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're going to be collector's items someday. The other recall that Shaggy is talking about makes me sad to be an American.
Yeah. It does.
Costco recalled 80,000 pounds of butter. Anyone want to guess why?
Well, first we have to get an idea of how much butter that is.
Well, and while we're getting that idea, because I know you're looking for something.
That's about 133 butter cows. All right, to put that butter cows. Yes. So if we're putting that into
how many cubits?
Let's see here. Or
how many shipping containers? Can you do that? How many shipping containers?
How many Fort Knoxes can we fill up for all this butter?
Is it?
Now let's just backtrack for a second. Everybody's seen
it's about
House on the Prairie, or
it's about 10 elephants.
10 elephants. Okay,
10 elephants worth of butter.
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's based off of Smokey and the Bandit Part 2. That's probably about 3 or 4 tractor trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 5. But everybody's seen the butter churn, right? How they're making the butter.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the number one thing in the butter churn? Every time. Pretty much required in order to make butter.
That would be milk.
That would be. Thank you, Colin.
Cream.
Yes, that would be milk. Some kind. Well, yes, milk, cream, depending on how much fat content you want. Okay, or what type of butter I would say. Yeah. So Costco forgot to put may contain or may contain milk or contains milk
And-
on butter. On
And
the
remember,
butter.
remember, this is around.
On the butter.
Remember, this is around 80,000 pounds of butter. Or if you need to visualize that a different way, that's about two large school buses, a small house, 1,600 concrete blocks, or 200 Nile crocodiles, 500 adult gorillas. You know, I know those
come
are
up with all of these
common
minimizing to my head, to my brain.
common
much
units
this
of
matters.
measurements.
Well, let's
These are
just
all
try
things
this one
where
more
it's like,
time.
well, it's
Okay?
only a couple elephants.
Yeah.
May,
Mhm.
may contain milk. Because that was not on the label, they had to recall the butter.
Mm-hmm. Because it
In
has
fear
milk.
of being sued. Who?
Oh, it was just
in
they're
their
forced
own-
by the U.S. government. But here's the so
Oh, by the
here-
by the
here's fun
FDA,
thing,
yeah.
though. Yeah. But here's the fun thing. So this was in Texas. So this wasn't specifically like Costco's across the country. It wasn't Costco who forgot. It was the dairy in Texas that was providing Costco with some of their butter. But on Reddit, someone who works for a dairy who provides Costco with butter, I think it was in the Northeast. They're like, when they saw that was happening, they're like, oh, I'm going to go check. And they checked their labels and like, yep, we're good. Because they're like, yeah, that'd be very bad if we weren't there. That's very important that's on there correct. I'm like, first off, why isn't Costco then being in control of their own label? Why is it up to the individual dairies to print their labels correctly? But also, it's like, oh, there's one dairy that screwed up, and apparently all the other dairies are like, well, that was stupid. You shouldn't do that. I was like, but it's still butter. I actually checked. I checked with the gallon of milk we had to make sure that it did not have a label on the side of it that contains milk. Apparently, it's saying that it was milk was enough for that.
Well, yeah, if it actually says milk, or if it said milk product,
I don't just say.
probably
At
have
this point, I was like, I was half wondering if I was going to find a label on the side of the milk gallon that said, "Warning: may contain milk."
So,
and
just to
I'm sorry,
give you an
Mama
idea,
Mama Blair wants to see. I didn't know Jeff Goldblum was in Wicked.
just to give you an idea, if you put
Yes.
those sticks of
Yes.
butter
Is Oz.
end to end to
End to
end, they would be longer than Rhode Island is, or Delaware, or even Connecticut.
You just keep coming up with obscure references that none of us have a frame of reference to.
This is exactly what the news does with these numbers.
Oh, yes. Oh, this thing was in like all of the warning today from Costco. Make sure you throw out this butter. I'm like, no one needs to throw out the butter. It's fine. There's no person who bought that butter who needs to throw it away.
They interviewed people in New York as they were leaving Costco, and one woman had butter. She goes, "You mean it actually supposed to say contains milk? It's butter. What else is it
And
going
if
to
they're
have?"
if they're interviewing them in New York, if they looked at their butter, it would say contains milk because it wasn't Texas.
No, actually, believe it or not, the package she had did not say contains milk.
Oh, that's
So somehow,
funny that they
Got out.
should have because that's definitely not Texas butter in New York.
Well, yeah, because you could fill 191 bathtubs with 80,000 pounds of melted butter, to
finally,
give you an idea.
normal people have a bathtub.
You know.
It still makes it seem like not that much.
Well, I'm sorry, but there wasn't enough to fill up a swimming pool, so I had to go to
Enough
bathtub.
butter That's enough water to fill an entire subdivision's houses worth of bathtub.
So, sorry, I just
It was
love
not
when we
fair.
have something in enormous pounds, and then I can use it to come up with these stupid comparisons. Wow, we really churned through that story. All right.
No, you didn't. This son of a bitch is sitting here doing all of these obscure references, and then he's just sitting on this pun.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Are we doing another story, or are we doing this movie?
Well, let's go ahead. And do the movie.
It's the movie.
Let's do the movie. All right. So who's up for the summary this time?
That would be you, Shag.
Oh, all right. It was Happiness for Beginners, a Netflix original, but probably coming to a Lifetime channel near you at some point. All right. So first off, let's just look at who's in this. Okay. So you got Ellie Kemper, Luke Grimes, and Ben Cook, which I could have sworn that Ben Cook was in other things, but I think he just has one of those faces that looks like he's been in other things. Because in looking at his IMDb page, he wasn't in other things that I'm used to. Luke Grimes has been in a few other things, but nothing that I know of. But he does have one of those faces like he should have been in other things as the heartthrob. So this is all about a story about a woman who gets married and then her marriage goes to crap. And then she decides that she needs to rediscover herself through a walk in the woods. But it's not really a walk. It's really like a 10-day trek in the woods along with a cavalcade of other characters. A woman who says she is going on a what'd she call it? She was going to go on a pledge of not talking, a silent retreat basically, but then she can't shut up during the whole time. This one woman who seems like the hippiest hippie that's ever hippied, but really she's a killer stockbroker or something. A guy who seems like he's big bad and, Mr. Outdoorsman, who then later freaks out at the mere sight of somebody getting hurt. And then Wendy with an I, who, how dare anybody ever call her Wendy with an E? I guess she hates Dave Thomas. I don't know. And then, it's a typical finding myself and realizing that the guy who's always been there the whole time right next to me is the guy that I really should be with. But I will say they do throw in a few interesting tidbits here and there along the way that make the story a little bit different than your typical Hallmark, mantra. Not everything is rosy and great and wonderful at the end. There's still some tragedy yet to befall. So I guess that's a good thing. You know that not everything is perfect, but everything ends up the way it should. So, it's got that going for it. All in all, I've watched a ton of Hallmark movies. So I feel like I can put this in the context of a Hallmark movie and kind of give you an idea of where it lies. As a Hallmark movie, it's not terrible. It could be a whole lot worse. The trope of this one isn't as tired and boring as the trope of, say, a maid meets a prince of Moldova and suddenly she gets recruited to watch his kids. All right. That one I'm so over, princes and everything else. This one's a little bit more grown-up 90s rom-com. All right. So I will say the one line that I loved that I need to make sure is, I respond to praise when I do things well. Do something right and I'll point it out. That was one of the funniest things that was in this movie. So overall, good movie. I actually did not have time to watch it with my wife, so I will probably end up rewatching this again just to get her opinion of it. But I'm going to go ahead and give this one a smile. Like I said, I've watched a lot of Hallmark movies. There's far worse out there. Trust me, this one is not terrible. It's got enough comedy breaks, I think, to make things interesting without the gushiness of it killing the whole movie. So, smile from me. All right, Colin, you want to go next?
Oh, sure. So this Hallmark the Hallmark, and then Hallmark the Hallmark the Hallmark. So then the Hallmark did the Hallmark, and then the Hallmark the Hallmark. I've rated this movie Hallmark.
Okay. Hallmark. Okay. Shaggy, have fun translating that one to numeric.
Oh, it's a special version of Meh.
Special version of Meh.
Okay.
It's a special version of Meh, which is Hallmark. Not just Meh, it's Hallmark.
Okay. Fair
It's
enough.
Hallmark.
Hallmark. Oh, God. All right. So, I got to say, the first thing that's thrown me off is seeing Luke Grimes as clean shaven. I'm so used to seeing him on Yellowstone being all gruffy cowboy type guy. So, this is a little trippy. She hands her brother a laminated list of instructions to watch her house. All I could say is at least it wasn't a binder complete with photo instructions. Not that we've ever done that as a society. I mean, not personally here at Butterstown. It's never been done. Gigi's house. I think it, based off of the traffic signs, it looks like it was in New Jersey. That house is easily $1.5 million, and taxes are probably $15,000 a year. Just saying. Karaoke in the conference room at the hotel. I'm digging it. But the heart-shaped tub, that is the classic sign of a beautiful Mount Airy Lodge commercial in the beautiful Pocono Mountains, not Connecticut. The hiking instructor needs a big old kick in the nuts. But from the sound of his voice, they may not have dropped yet, so we're just going to kick him. He's like the nerdy bouncer who thinks that the world cannot exist without him. You know, the entire world is about bouncing. Now, I fully admit I am a little slow when it comes to hiking. But the instructor dude did say that this was tick country. Pull up your socks. Next scene, we see him wearing ankle socks and shorts. Do as I say, not as I do? Or was that a test? Seriously, if this was a Vietnam War movie, instructor dude would be shot by friendly fire. Possibly Mitch, too. Or Mason, rather. I'm sorry. All right, so we evacuate Hugh. The comic relief is gone, and we now go into full Hallmark mode. We've now crossed that line, people. Complete with the hiccup in the hookup. Because there's always a twist where we can't be together. Something's wrong, but no, we belong together. The universe willed it, so. All right, so look, I gave this a smile only because I felt like the chemistry between Jake and Helen was excellent. Supporting cast did fill out the roles perfectly. Not my typical type of movie, but might have filled my Hallmark quota for the year by watching this. I'm just saying, maybe.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now we have to go through, because during the holiday time, we try to watch holiday movies. And I don't know how many we have on the list that are holiday movies, but it's two. We have dos. So, because we're not sure if some of the ones that we wanted are actually going to hit the list or not. So
Right. So I
we
mean,
can
we
pick-
mentioned Red One.
yes.
We mentioned Dear Santa.
Mhm.
Yeah, red one's supposed to be like May.
Okay, so it's probably not going to hit the list. And Dear Santa, we don't know. Well, it's Paramount Plus, so it could, but we could hit it for next time if we want to. So, what do we have, Mike, on our two number list?
Okay, so the first one is on Netflix. It's a scripted movie called Who Killed Santa? A Murderville Mystery. Now, the description here is pre-scripted movie, but several of the lead actors don't get the script and have to improvise.
Right. So, Murderville Mystery is it's a series, and Murderville Mysteries is the name of the series, and this is a special holiday episode. So the idea is that most of the people do know what the story is, but the guest stars don't, and they have to improv. So it's not quite like Whose Line, but a little bit like it, in that the guest stars do not know. They're basically ride-alongs to the police department, but they do not know what is going on with the case. They don't have any background. So it's definitely a coin flip of whether it's going to be good or not. Sometimes seeing celebrities and actors out of their element where they do not know what's going to happen next is good. Sometimes it is a complete dumpster fire.
Okay, so the two celebrities that don't know what are going on, that are improvising, are Jason Bateman and Maya Rudolph.
Ooh, Maya Rudolph.
Everybody else
is
has a
usually Maya Rudolph has roots in SNL. So, and I've seen her improv on cooking shows and things like that. She can roll with the punches pretty well. Jason Bateman, I don't know his improv skills that well. So, what's our other choice?
And for the record, this is only 52 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The other choice is on Amazon. It's called Christmas Mail. Sparks fly when postman Matt meets his mysterious new coworker Christy, an official Santa writer. But when their petty boss Fuller enlists Matt to spy on Christy, complications ensue.
Okay, boy, that sounds like another Hallmark movie. And we just did one. So
I'm leaning towards the murder mystery one.
I am too. I have not watched any of those. I think I started watching one, and I pulled it.
I got it. All right. I'm going to throw a possible audible here.
Okay.
It is available on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Christmas movie.
Okay.
I just verified we have not reviewed it.
Okay.
What about Jingle All the Way?
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one or the sequel? Because there was a sequel at one point.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Okay. I mean, I've seen it, and it's on regular rotation, but I don't know that I've ever reviewed it. Colin? Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, a long time.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
A long time.
We either do that or we do the murder mystery one. Which one? Well, and hold on. Who's up? Who's up in the rotation? Well, I'm up in the rotation, so I really don't care.
Say, if you call an audible, it's yours. So
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Oh, I was just looking. Nutcrackers might be good too.
Nutcrackers? Who that?
Maybe on Hulu. There's Ben Stiller, Linda Cardinelli, Edie Patterson.
straight-laced man finds his life suddenly upended when he becomes a caregiver for his rambunctious orphan nephews. That doesn't.
Okay. Is this actually? I guess it's a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas. So
I don't know much about it. I just was looking through the list of Christmas movies from this year.
All right, well, I'll tell you
and
what. Let's do Jingle All the Way. We'll plan that for right now. Mike, you're
Okay.
up. You're up for
Okay.
reviews, and then we will have more time to pick for the next one.
Fair enough.
I will say we're definitely not doing. This is a Hallmark one, of course. We're definitely not doing Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
No. No, that makes sense. All right, so we'll do Jingle All the Way, and we can talk about Phil Hartman. All right, so that works.
Okay.
Okie dokie. With that said, our next episode,
December 2nd.
yes, will be December 2nd. So, folks, watch for us December 2nd. We will be live on air, and we will have a whole bunch of more things to talk about. We have already some topics on the docket for that, and I'm sure we will have stories of Thanksgiving aplenty by then as well. So, by the way, I just got booked for in February the Crime Stoppers big trivia night back at the convention center, largest trivia night in Central Illinois. So lucky to be tapped for that one again. But other than that, don't have anything big planned anytime soon, which is good. Let's see here. Anybody else have anything?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. Well, folks,
Don't.
go ahead, Mike.
No, I was going to say I don't, but after the next show, I got to go in for another vein surgery. So,
Oh,
that.
boy. Mike, you got to take care of yourself.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
So-
Hello.
Oh, boy.
Actually, this one ain't as bad. It's just a couple of injections. They're not doing the whole catheter thing. So,
All right. Well, we'll be taking well wishes for you on that. So, all right, folks. So, again, we will see you guys on December 2nd. Don't forget to check out the website, ptrradio.com, as well as at PTR Radio on all your favorite social media platforms. But that'll do it for us tonight, folks. So, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.